Okay, we're gonna try to do that. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Well, it's the first podcast. It's gonna be awkward to talk to no chat or anything like that, and talk directly to people listening like afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't listen to many podcasts.
I don't think you got to think of it as we're talking to people. It's just pretend we're having a conversation.
I think that's
that it just so happens that people might be listening to it afterwards.
That's the hard part, though.
I don't know. It's fine. Just pretend no one's listening.
Well, but I'm also thinking that people are listening at the same time.
It's fine.
Anyways, yeah, so this is episode 1 of... Are we calling it Rachel Show or The Rachel Show?
Yes, let's call it just
The Rachel Show.
You can leave.
No, yeah, okay, bye.
Get out.
Okay, I gotta go. Come on,
bye.
let's go, Saber.
Call it the Rachel and Saber Show.
The Rachel and Saber
She's
Show?
sleeping.
No, is it The Rachel and Travis Show or
Yeah.
Rachel and Travis Show?
I think it's the.
It's The Rachel and Travis Show? Okay.
This desk is.
All right, well,
really
anyways,
sticky.
The Rachel and Travis Show, episode 1, has started. So, yeah, so we're basically just going to give you guys some cool topics, hopefully, I guess, to talk about. Just like random nonsense.
Who knows?
Nothing really like planned out. We don't want to plan it. We want it to be kind of off the top of our head, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is the first time we've ever done this, so I don't think it's going to be flawless on the first try.
Yeah. But after this first one, you guys can pick and choose, I think, was it tier 2 or something?
Well, this first episode's going to be kind of like a see how it goes freebie. And then after that, we'll have some cool different, what are they called? Like tiers?
Yeah, tiers,
on
yeah.
Patreon, where you guys will get to
choose and stuff.
Yeah, if you want to continue listening to the podcast, it'll be up there. And it's just kind of another way to support us and the stream. And a few different cool benefits. You'll have to wait and see for when we put that up. But
yeah. So, yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be cool that they can actually, we can do that whole, topic thing inside of a cup, because I like that.
Yeah, one of our things we were thinking was going to be, just because we don't really know, this is more of a variety show, I'd say. We're just going to talk about, I don't know, whatever we feel like talking about that week.
Yeah, it doesn't...
And then people can give suggestions.
Yeah, no specific lengths or anything, right? So
I don't know. We'll try to keep it under an hour.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I don't think it'll be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fine.
This first one might be a little bit shorter while we get used to it.
Yeah. It's also kind of cool because we're doing audio. Obviously, most of you are probably going to watch it through or listen through audio. And then we're also going to have video as well, too, for the people that want to see us be all weird and stuff.
Which you
I
really
think...
should, because I took time to actually do my hair and makeup for this.
So did I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can tell.
Yeah. I brought my my San Pellegrino. If you guys have never had this before, you should totally try it. It's really good stuff.
I have, today I'm drinking, that will be a segment. What are you drinking?
What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking...
I thought we were going to do the tea thing.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, we are
no
doing
tea
that.
today. It's...
You remember? So originally we were going to come up with a... We were going to come up with a thing for... And we're going to call it, not the Rachel and Travis show, we're going to call it, Spill the Tea or something.
What's the tea or tea talk or something like that. But...
Yeah, but the thing is, we looked on Spotify and people have taken literally everything.
We're extremely late to the podcast game.
Yeah. We're just doing it just because we're bored. No, just
I don't know. I really I listen to podcasts all day long.
I don't listen to any.
All day long, because I work an office job where I'm kind of just left to my own devices for a lot of the day, and everyone just kind of wears headphones. So to entertain myself, I listen to podcasts all the time.
I don't even have time to watch YouTube anymore, really. Except for in the bathroom. It's true though.
Yeah.
I think that's most of the time when people are watching YouTube.
Anyway, so
it's true.
I really, really enjoy podcasts, but I mean, I'm not expecting this to go crazy or anything.
No, yeah. I don't even know how to upload it.
Because I've always wanted to do one.
Yeah, I don't I know people talk about upload it to Spotify, and that's why we were saying that we should come up with a cool catchy name Spill the Tea or Spill the Real Tea.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking
about.
And
but the thing is that we had no idea how the hell to do that, so I was I think we should just do Patreon. It's probably easier.
Yeah, and the whole point of that was that there is already 1 million podcasts
with
named
names
T in it,
yeah.
And all the good names are taken. So
pretty much.
For now, this is the Rachel and Travis show.
Yeah.
I
This is like the
mean-
longest intro I think I've ever heard of. Welcome to the Rachel and Travis
Excuse
Show.
me.
Let's explain 20 hours of what we've been doing.
Welcome to podcast.
Yeah.
Where
Well-
you just talk.
So originally it was supposed to be Rachel and our friend Nick, who does Pippin and D&D.
I think we still want. I don't know. It depends. He's so busy.
Yeah, and then I was like, no, I want it, because I was like,
Mhm.
Rachel says I have FOMO, which is like fear of missing out or something.
You really do. Like very bad.
So I was like, I want to be on the podcast.
Has
I
never listened to a podcast. Never watched a podcast. Nothing. I was like, I want to do one. He's like, no, I want to do a podcast.
And then I got like really angry because like you and Nick were talking about it all day, and I'm like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even care. You guys
You're
are
like, I'm gonna do my own podcast. Like, okay.
Yeah, well, you guys didn't end up doing one.
No,
So, good thing I kicked into gear.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what I'm drinking is cranberry Canada Dry.
Whoa, spicy.
Fancy.
On a Sunday as well, too. Whoa. But yeah, so we kind of like came up with like a cool idea. I think it'd be kind of cool to do it each episode where we come up with 3 topics.
Yeah.
Or like more, depending on like what we got to come up with. I mean, so for the first one, I kind of just went into Discord and I was like, hey, give me some topics real quick.
That's cheating.
No, but I was asking what they wanted to listen to real
Hey,
quick.
you supposed to come up with your own.
I
I
did,
came
I
up
came-
with all 3 off the top of my own brain.
There was a few that I already like thought of, and then like Ryan was talking about some, so I was like, okay, that's good. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, we'll get into it. And yeah, I guess. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start? Anyways, okay. The first one is because we're keeping these secret from each other. This is how it should be. I think would be kind of cool. How are we gonna do when we pull out the hats? We'll have like. We'll figure out that later on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it'd be kind of cool if we have like, because we could do episodes where we just pull out the hats, like the topics, depending on how many topics we have.
If we end up getting, I don't know. I think that I am under the impression that like nobody's going to care.
That's what I'm thinking too.
So I'm like, ooh, 1 topic per month. So like, I
I
don't
know.
want to get ahead of myself.
I
If
know,
there
neither
ever
do I.
comes to a point where we have like, 20 different topics, and it's like we want to make sure everyone's heard, we could do like a little mini episode where all we do is just pick from
Well,
all the topics or
yeah,
something.
it depends on
or-
how many people decide to like do Patreon.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't think a lot of people are gonna probably do it, but
I don't know.
I mean, who knows, really? I guess, right?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
But I mean, I'm not.
I would like to get a better
banking
web
on that.
or a new, 4K so they can see our pores.
I don't know about that.
All right, so we'll do it like this where we don't show each other the topics, and then we have to.
I didn't even write mine down. They're all in my brain.
They're all in your brain. Well, I wrote mine down because I didn't know.
If you didn't come up with them either. okay,
Should I
go.
do like? Should
Sure.
I be like Curtis, or should I be like nice and be like ladies first?
No, you can go.
Okay. My first topic is movie night. The movie night that we did. So let me give you guys some explanation. So obviously, I'm sure you guys are probably like, oh my god, like I want to watch shows. Well, we watch like shows like crazy. Well, I mean, depends on like what show it is. But like we'll try to watch recommended shows like all the time. Sometimes we'll watch shows and be like, oh my god, we'll watch like 10 minutes of it and we're like, no, we can't do this. Like we'll both look at each other and we're like,
We tried watching Fleabag
yeah,
on Amazon. I think
Amazon Video, yeah.
Prime, and like my sisters watched it, Nick watched it, and they all said it was so good. And I just like couldn't.
I know.
I couldn't do it.
It's kind
I
of
don't
good
know.
because like we both kind of had that moment. Like I'm sure you guys probably have it too, where if you're looking at the other person, you're kind of just like, hey, is it just me or like is this show suck?
Yeah.
And then we just stop halfway through and then we just like never watch it again.
I also like have to be in the right mood to watch something. Like I probably maybe like a year from now I'll try watching it again and I'll be like, oh, this is so good. I don't know.
Yeah, like what other show did we watch? Good Omens. We got like maybe halfway through.
Yeah, I wasn't really into it.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So we've been doing this thing where we watch like really good shows. Like obviously Mindhunter is like an amazing show. Like we could talk about shows later on, but like Mindhunter is like a really good show. Obviously, like, what else? What other shows? Yeah, there's more shows.
You know all those shows we watch?
Yeah, Mindhunter.
It's good.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Mindhunter to promote it. We're just like, just Mindhunter. Obviously, anyways, like Game of Thrones, like all the other like top tier
Gilmore
shows.
Girls.
Gilmore Girls, yeah. Well, yeah. That's a good show.
Yeah.
It's funny. We'll talk. Whatever. We'll talk about that after. But yeah. Anyway, so we always like watch these shows, and then there's nothing left to watch on Netflix or like Amazon because we don't have Hulu in Canada, and I hear Hulu has like all this stuff that's missing.
I've never watched Hulu before.
I think it's like the side of. I think it goes like Amazon Prime, Netflix, and then there's like Hulu that has like everything. But I don't know. Anyway, so we're always like looking for stuff. So I was like, well, I'm tired of watching TV shows because like I don't watch movies really ever, or like at least I haven't like really watched any movies in a long time. Like we don't go to the movie theaters ever because it's kind of like whatever.
No, I don't really like them. I used to work in a movie theater, and then as like an adult, I don't like the movie theaters because I feel like you pay all this money. You can't even like you have to sneak in food if you want to bring it. The food there's very expensive.
Not anymore though, right?
Yeah.
No.
No, you can't bring your own food in.
Yeah, no. The last remember the theater. Oh, that's alcohol.
Alcohol you can buy there.
Which is like $20.
It's
I think you're only like limited to 2.
But then I'm also like an extreme germaphobe, so there's like people always like coughing all over the place. There's like screaming children, people talking. Okay. I just don't enjoy.
Yeah, but now they have the. Anyways,
I like movies. I just don't like going.
I like going to the movie theater. I always like ask you. I'll be like, let's go to the movies right now, and you're like, no.
No.
But she did make a promise that the new Jurassic Park movie.
I never made this promise.
You know, I literally. Anyways, it was after we watched. So this gets into the movie topic, anyways, but. Anyway, so we'll get back to that after, I guess.
Oh my God. Put that on the ever-growing list of...
Yeah, I'm just like, the list starts with 3 topics. By the end of it, I have 50. This podcast is 5.5 years.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Anyway, so we're always, like, running out of TV shows to watch. So I'm like, well, you know, like, let's do something different. So then, like, one night I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to each choose 2 movies that the other person has not watched, which is what it started out. It started out like that. The other person did, like, the one that they couldn't watch or didn't watch. And then the other person chooses one of those 2, and they have to choose those ones no matter what. And we've been doing that for a while. And it's been pretty good. Except that...
I feel like that was a very confusing explanation.
Well, you explained it then. I don't know.
We rotate. One night it's me, next night it's you. One night it's me, next night it's
you. Oh,
me.
yeah, that's what
And I will choose 2 movies that you have never seen before, and then you... choose which one we're gonna watch out of those 2.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we did that, and then like what else was I saying? So yeah, so I got like lost my train of thought for some reason.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So it all started out where I started choosing all these movies, and Rachel's like, "Yeah, I've seen it. I'm like, "Oh my God."
I've seen every movie.
Pretty much like I would name off all these movies, and she'd be like, "I've seen all those."
Yeah.
So then I'm like, "Jurassic Park." She's like, I haven't seen them. I'm like, yes.
I've seen the first, obviously, like the original first ever Jurassic Park.
But not the second one.
But not any of the other ones.
Well, the second one is probably my favorite. But anyways, yeah, so just to kind of like go back to what I was saying before. So we watched Jurassic Park, and I'm like, oh, the new Jurassic Park, like whatever, the one, whoever, I don't know what the heck it's going to be called. Jurassic Park 5, maybe? I don't know. It's going to have, because it was Jurassic Park, the one was what was the one with Chris Pratt?
I feel like it's the 6th one because there was 3 originals.
No, what was the name of it?
And then they made the new one with Chris Pratt,
which was called.
And they just made Jurassic World.
Jurassic World, yeah.
And then they made another one after that came out like last year or something, which I heard was really bad.
I heard it was horrible.
And then now they're making the 3rd one of like the reboot.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so the new one's gonna have like Jeff Goldblum, like the main 3 guys.
What's his name? Sam Neill.
Which sucks is that Chris Pratt is still going to be in it, which is stupid. I hate that. Oh, no. Then in the last one, there was this... I was telling people in chat the other day that there was like this clip of a raptor going inside somebody's like bedroom like at nighttime. And I'm like, why is this happening?
Why does that make you hate Chris Pratt?
Oh, I guess. I think it's just cheesy.
It's not Chris Pratt's fault.
No, but I'm just saying it's cheesy in the movie to like... when they like training raptors to like understand English.
Do we want to talk about how cheesy? Number 2, there was a dinosaur in like, where were they? New York City? I don't even know.
Yeah.
But you're fine with that.
How's that cheesy?
The T-Rex?
Yeah.
No. That's so dumb.
How is that cheesy?
Compared to like a little raptor getting through?
No. I said, what? And then like the room you mean? No, I'm talking about it's cheesy how they... I'm talking about how it's cheesy how they have like the raptors being trained.
Oh.
Like I think
they're really smart, right? That's the whole
the thing. Is like how they gonna so what I'm saying is that this doesn't even have to do with movie night. This is just like an off topic thing that we're talking about. I actually have a question about movie night, but anyways. But my thing is that like they go from like the crappy, not the crappy, but like they go from like it's Jurassic Park. And like the dinosaurs are like unfamiliar with like where they are, and like they're trying to show a park off. And the second one's like, okay, this is kind of like a secluded park that we didn't mean to like show to the public and stuff. And then the third one's kind of like, The third one's kind of like, oh, this island was just left alone. We don't even care about it anymore.
Did we watch the third one?
Yeah.
I have no memory.
Yeah, and then the newer ones are like, this is a new improved park, which I understand. But then they're like the newest one is like they're forming new dinos, and it's just annoying. Because like they're like making like the ones like super sophisticated, and then they have they have the original T-Rex that's just in a cage, and they're like, oh, release it. That's the only way that we can save this park. I'm like the first one, the Jurassic World was okay, but like this new one I heard is really bad.
I think you're
what
the whole concept is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I like the original where they're like they go in there like, oh, we're gonna make the park. So I don't. What I'm trying to say is I don't like the high end Raptors. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, but they can't just redo all the same things over and over again because that's boring.
So what's gonna be the next one then?
I'm not
even more sophisticated Raptors.
The whole purpose of this is that I never promised to go to the movie.
Oh yeah,
theater.
that's the whole point of this.
I'm not going.
So anyways, no, yeah, you did say I said you have to promise me when the newest movie comes out. We haven't gone to a movie in a long time. I said you have to promise to go see a movie with me, and she said yes.
And he said he did say this, and then I said no.
You said
and
yes.
And then you got out of the car.
No.
Yeah.
I said this was in the kitchen. I said this. I said yeah, and you're like yeah, and I'm like okay, good. I can't wait.
No.
Yeah.
I have no memory of you. Did not get it in writing.
Probably drinking that day. But anyway,
my Canada Dry.
Yeah, your Canada Dry. No, but anyways, it did happen. So I don't know. Anyways, but the question that I had for you is, which of your favorite movies out of the choices that I've had so far?
What was my favorite movie that you chose so far?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what you chose. There's Jurassic Park 2 and 3. So not those.
There was like this running long thing how I kept picking Jurassic Park every day.
I would pick like all these different movies, like different genres, and then it would come to Travis and he'd be like, Jurassic Park 3. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, that's the ones that I had in HT.
Anyway, you chose those. Then there was, what's the one where the kids go to fat camp? There's that one.
Yeah, the one with
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Would not choose. That was not.
I've
actually seen it before. It just was a long time ago.
When you look or when you watch these movies, I feel like when you go to like watch them again after like a million years, it does not hold up at all.
So there's that one. What else did you choose?
I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, okay. Obviously, Lord of the Rings because you kept telling me to choose that. Independence Day, which we'll talk about that after. Do you remember?
Yeah, I would say Independence Day, but I have seen it before.
That was your favorite?
Out of the ones you chose, yeah.
No, Jurassic World 2.
No.
Jurassic World 2 was much better than Independence Day.
Well,
Independence Day was cheesy as hell. Remember the one part where he like gets out and punches the alien in the face, and you're like, "That's
I still enjoyed it more than Jurassic Park."
There was this part at the end of Independence Day. Remember, I was like,
"Yes." If you've seen Independence Day, there's the part where Bill Pullman's character, the president, is standing there, and he's like
giving a big.
He's giving his speech before they go to like blow up the alien spaceship, and he's like, "This will be our Independence Day, July 4th, the world's Independence Day." You know, it's like his big moment.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god.
He's like, wait, July 4th is America's Independence Day?
No, I knew that, but I said, oh my god, the title means Independence Day. And you looked at me and you're like,
I was like, what?
And I'm like, no, I meant like, I thought like, you know, I don't know, like I meant like
I was
World
like,
Destruction
what do you
Day?
think Independence Day was? I was like, it's when the United States
I know, but I thought it was
British.
like a different title, like it didn't have to do with Independence Day.
It blew your mind somehow. I don't know how.
I didn't think it had to do with July 4th, is what I meant. Because I was like, what? I was like, no way. That's what the title meant. Like I thought it was like Independence. I don't even know what I'm getting at right now, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is one of those Rachel decodes Travis moments. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, so that was your favorite movie?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I don't think that you picked any others.
Which ones did you choose?
My movies? We watched...
The Princess thing?
We watched A Little Princess.
A Little Princess,
My movies were, like, nostalgic, like, ones I watched when I was a kid. I should preface this with, like, Travis grew up, like, basically an only child, you know?
Yeah.
Your siblings were pretty grown, so, like, you could watch, like, whatever you wanted. I grew up with two sisters, so we watched, like, all girly movies, essentially, and Disney movies. So my choices were not Jurassic Park. A
No.
Little Princess, Now and Then, Father of the Bride.
No, I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, no, you didn't finish it.
No, that movie was boring.
I think that was it. I think I only had the 3.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I think
because
so.
after that, I started choosing movies.
Anyway.
My favorite out of those ones probably would be.
Now and Then.
Yeah, Now and Then was pretty funny.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. But like, yeah, it's like one of those things when you watch those old movies again, you're like, the humor is not the same anymore.
No.
But yeah.
One of those movies was I watched, like, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. I think we watched it together. I used to love the movie We're Back. It's the one with the dinosaurs that, it's like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
That
I remember watching that and I remember.
Or like they're in like New York City, but they're like friendly and they talk and
I remember
stuff.
going to, before I forget, in grade, it might have been like JK or SK. I remember like in grade 1, I think my parents like, I think it was like a after school like go and watch movies with like the other kids or something. And I remember We're Back was on, and like I wanted to finish watching the movie, and my parents were like, "Come on, let's go." And I was like, "I want to finish watching the movie," and they're like, "Let's go."
Mm-hmm.
And that was what happened.
Yeah.
And I never finished watching the movie.
Oh, it doesn't hold up. It's not good.
No, yeah.
Oh, one of my suggestions, but we never ended up picking it, was A Brave Little Toaster.
Oh God.
And I feel like this is one of those like niche movies that maybe like only me and my sisters were ever obsessed with. I don't know if you've never heard of it before.
No.
It's I don't even know who made it. If it's Disney.
Oh no,
or
I've
not.
heard of it. I've heard of it, but I just said that it was Disney.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really weird. And we ended up watching like the trailer for it because I couldn't really remember. I just remembered I thought it was so funny. And just watching like the YouTube trailer, I was like,
It was so bad.
We can't watch this. I'm like, this is gonna be terrible.
It was like a fork on the way. I was like,
it's like a toaster on a grand adventure.
I wanted to
It's like just household appliances. Like,
I wanted to recommend this
out
one
in the
movie
world.
called Gordy. And
oh, no.
I have these like, okay, so I don't know where my parents got these like older, like non like real movies.
They're like
They're like the
President's Choice.
No,
version
what
of
it is
movies,
pretty much
like the off-brand.
You know when you go to like, you know when you go on a trip and then you stop and then there's like that bin of old cassette tapes and they're all like 4 cents.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically pretty much what these ones are. Like there's this one called that is like really. We should have brought it. We'll talk about it next time.
Which one?
The Polar Bear Prince.
Oh my god.
There's this movie called.
I'm
gonna go grab it. Anyways, while she goes and gets that, there's this movie called The Polar Bear Prince, and when I was younger, this movie was like my favorite movie of all times. And I remember like I thought it was so good, and we had our friends over like I think 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and I should probably wait till she gets back because she's probably gonna be like.
The Polar Bear King.
The Polar Bear King. I was saying Prince because she was talking about Princess. Anyways, this is the movie, okay?
It's the worst.
I told you, look at the special $1.
Special $1.
$1. Oh, that's rental too. It's like one of the scratches tips. Anyways, this is it. The Polar Bear King. So.
Honestly, looking at it, you're like, all right.
It's pretty shiny.
You know, it can't be that bad.
Anyways, it's an 87-minute long video of. It's an 87-minute long video of, like, goodness. When I was younger, I was like, this movie's so good. And then, about 3 or 4 years ago, I had people over and I got a VHS tape, or VHS system. And I'm like, let's go and watch this movie.
He's like, it's so good. You guys are going to love it.
And I'm like, let's watch it. We start watching. They're like, Travis, this is a dubbed movie.
It was like,
and I'm
it was like
what?
Russian or something. I don't know.
I think it's a Russian. So I'm pretty sure it's a Russian movie dubbed as English. But when I was younger, I thought it was like this high end. Because my parents had got like all these like older movies that like didn't really make any sense. And this was one of them. Gordy was like a knockoff Babe. I'm sure more people probably watch Gordy. Anyways, and then there was like 3 or 4 other movies that Rachel's like, these movies probably didn't make production.
No. And you could tell immediately, and it was terrible, like, production quality. Like, not...
That's pretty bad.
Not good. Not, like, Disney standard. And it was... You couldn't even, like, focus on... That's how bad the dubbing was. We made it through, I think, like, 30 seconds, and we were crying laughing.
I know.
Like, we can't watch this.
Yeah, I can't remember. By the way, if you ever have VHS tapes at home,
No.
smell the inside of them. They smell so good.
Ew.
It's a true story.
No.
You open up the side, and they always smell like weird plastic. Anyways, that's my topic. You're up.
My turn.
Well, there's more to talk about that movie night because we have some other ones, but.
Well, I mean, I was going to talk about Independence Day.
Oh, were you?
And how every time I watch a movie like that, I think like I spend like days afterwards thinking about what I would do if that really happened. And like I hate in the movies when they like remember when they were in the car and everything was like crashing down and they just left the dog.
Oh god. No, they got the dog.
Yeah, but she was just like, come here. Like,
yeah, and the world's exploding.
Yeah, I'm like, no, like I would not leave the house without Saber in my arms. Like, that's not happening.
If there was an earthquake.
No, like if there was aliens and they like were coming up above the house, like what's the first thing you would do?
If there was aliens coming up above the house.
And like we had to like, would you run? Do you stay in the house?
Where would
like
you
what do you grab? Where do you go?
I would try to find like an area that could like be underground, I guess, but there's nothing like around here.
No.
Mm-mm.
So what do you do?
I don't know.
Do you go to your family? Do you just like stay in the house and like barricade yourself in the basement and hope for the best? Do you go to the military?
I think like
I don't even know where
the
Canadian military
where's the Canadian military?
Oh. Do we have one?
I don't know. This VHS tape is peeling, by the way. Anyway, so if aliens showed up, where would I go? I'm thinking like I'd probably drive as fast as I can away from where they are. Look how many aliens are invading.
But you saw what happened in LA. Everybody's driving as fast. So then what if you're just stuck in the middle of the highway in a traffic jam?
I bet you what I would do, this is a smart idea. Like, listen to this. I would go and take my car on the railroad and drive.
And what if there's a train? Trains are still running. They don't.
No, they're not. When aliens are out, I'm sure the trains are shut down. And you can even drive on the side if you really need to.
And where would you go?
I don't know, away.
To?
It would be off the road though. That's a good idea. Do that if that ever happens. Nobody would be on the. When you watch movies, they're never on the railroad driving.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Alright.
As fast as I can.
Okay. I would get a map. Like an actual like map. Because you know that like cell phone towers and shit are going to go down.
Mm-hmm. Do they even sell those?
Yeah, you can get them at like Shoppers.
Who buys them?
You don't buy one. I would just run and grab one and take it.
No, but I'm saying who buys them?
I don't know. Old people who don't have GPS on their phones.
I don't even think like they would.
They have them, or like you can get them at like the tourist center, like you know, like downtown.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that way that I had like a map of Ontario. Like this is the roads, because you're gonna be screwed if you don't.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, I'd want to like pack the car up with like as much food and like necessities, like medicine, like
you wouldn't have enough time. You're saying that the aliens are flying over. I don't think you have enough time to pack up like a lunch.
I don't know. No, but I would just grab our thing that has all of our medicine in it. Grab it.
Yeah.
Put it in the car. Grab the dog. Grab the dog's kibble. Put it in the car.
So basically, the dog's gonna eat, but we're not gonna.
Yeah.
Eat. So we're gonna have medicine.
Yeah.
That's not even medicine in there. It's like all vitamins.
And then I would drive.
We don't have medicine in there. There's
into the county.
There's no medicine in there.
Okay. Into the county.
There's no medicine in there.
And away from the city, as far away from the city as I can get. Into the county. And then I would just kind of like follow the coast, like up the side roads and back roads.
Mm-hmm.
And I would try to find some sort of like island. Like I'd get a boat, something like a rowboat, steal one from someone, and get to like some sort of island where I'm away from like the population.
Yeah.
And like some sort of like farmland kind of situation where you can lay low.
I don't know. Well, if it's winter.
Then you ice skate across.
Ice skate across? No.
You run across.
No, because the further you go out, there's
further from civilization, the better, because the people are going to be like freaking out and like that's where aliens would destroy first. They wouldn't like destroy some like countryside village. They would like go for the big cities.
I don't even know what. Yeah, I don't want to think about that. Bad stuff.
Remember when prepared?
Yeah, that's why those people have those. What are those called?
Survivalists.
Survivalists, yeah.
They have bunkers.
The people that like think that like apocalypse is happening every day. Like they're like tomorrow.
Yeah, and they have like 7 years worth of canned goods stored up.
It's actually not a bad idea because you never really know what could happen. Mm-hmm. It's not even like that. It's just like even if like it blizzard like crazy and you couldn't get out of your house, what would you do?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when there was that big power outage in like all of Ontario like 20 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I was camping.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like. Do you know why that happened?
No, why?
Because I think it was because Niagara Falls froze up. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It was the middle of the summer.
No. Yeah. No, was it?
Yeah, I was camping.
Was it? Oh yeah, maybe it was.
If power was
It
out,
had something to do with Niagara Falls because Niagara Falls can only power so much of the grid, and I think something happened with one of the generators that shut down. It didn't freeze up. It had something to do with it.
I don't know.
It
I
had
just know
something-
it was out for like
I'm pretty sure
a
it had
week
something to do
or
with that.
something like that.
Somebody look that up. You let me know.
It was out for like a week or something, but like we didn't really care because we were just like
Younger.
camping anyway.
Yeah, I was younger. I had a Game Boy. I remember I like leveled up my Charizard to like I don't even know. I just played Game Boy all day.
Well, we didn't know about it because we were camping, and then we went into town to get firewood or something. I don't know. And we're like, why is everyone like people were lined up like for blocks at the gas station and like to get water. Like, people were freaking out. And we're like, all right, we're just gonna go back to our campsite. Never mind. And then by the time we got home, it was
like imagine because like the thing is to think about too is remember that night that the power went out and our phones were out.
Yeah, you lost your mind.
And I was like, what do I do? Like, you guys gotta think about this. Like, this was only like 3 hours. Basically, I was just about to stream, and the power went out. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nodding my head because like
I was
the
just
amount that you like couldn't deal was.
I was just about to stream, literally just about to stream. Or no, yeah.
No.
Or no, it was after I streamed.
We had gotten home and we were gonna watch TV or something.
Oh yeah, so this was in like the middle of when I usually don't stream. That's right, because it came on right before 10:30. Anyways, so we're just like about. I was just like about to like watch TV. That's what it was. And then we sit down, and then the power just goes out, and we're like, "What the heck?" And then our phones, like the cell phone service went down too, and we were like, "What the hell?" Like, okay. So we ended up like, I remember we ended up, what did we do? Oh yeah, we were like reading the book.
I was in the middle of sewing your.
Oh yeah, my backpack.
Your patches on your backpack for the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And so I just like set up a bunch. We had all these leftover candles from our wedding, so I set them all up like it looked like a seance.
It did,
like
yeah.
in a circle, and I sat in the middle of them.
Yeah.
And I was sewing by candlelight. I was fine. I was like, whatever. I don't like when power goes out because I don't like being in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But like I wasn't bored. I was just like, all right, like hopefully it comes back on soon.
Yeah.
You lost your mind.
I kept going like, oh, did you hear that down there? You're like, shh, don't do that.
Yeah, you're scaring me.
But I was like, what do I do? Like, there's nothing to do. And I was like sitting around like, dee-dee-da-doo-dee-dee-dee-dee.
I was like, read a book. He read like 2 pages of the first Harry Potter. And
I also read them with an accent too.
And then you laid on your back on the floor and you were like singing Christmas songs and like I was like, hey, let's play the quiet game where you shut up. And you did not make it like 20 seconds.
But anyways, the moral of the story is if that ever happened for more than like a long period of time, that would be pretty bad. So like that's what I'm saying. Like you should always keep something. Like that's when I would resort to like eating the old canned food that like we don't even eat.
At what point do we cook Saber?
I have to be pretty hungry. I also wouldn't cook all of Saber. I'd cook her leg or
Just
something.
your leg.
Yeah.
Just roast it.
Trevor,
No.
don't do that.
I'm not good.
Yeah. I don't know. After like maybe a month or something.
No.
No. Anyways, yeah. So make sure that you guys have canned goods. So-
That's the moral of the
yeah.
podcast.
Okay. My next topic. Don't look at this. Somebody mentioned talk about dinosaurs or dinosaurs are are real.
So we're back to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
More so basically all my
Is this the Jurassic Park? Travis's Jurassic Park
yeah, all my
podcast?
questions. The next one is spell Jurassic Park. Actually, I did say somebody. There's somebody in my stream that's called Death of Barney, and she has like a collection of like old school dinosaurs, like bones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, oh, I want to have my own raptor claw.
Yeah. I feel like that's very hard to come by.
Yeah. Do you think dinosaurs are real?
Yeah, they were real. I believe in science.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Do you think? But how do you know?
What do you mean, fossils?
There could be fossils of aliens.
There could be. I also think aliens are real.
I don't know. I mean, I believe yeah, no.
I don't understand that question. Do
I
you
don't
believe
know.
dinosaurs are real?
The question was, are dinosaurs real? I think it was just like just talk about dinosaurs.
Okay.
I don't know. The one
I
question,
like 'em.
one question that I had before was, if they could bring back dinosaurs now.
No.
If they could bring back dinosaurs now, why wouldn't you do it, or would you do it, or whatever?
No. Because you've seen Jurassic Park.
The thing
The
is,
world is not built anymore for that type of creature. As sad as that. Not that I think that that's a good thing. Like, I think that we're destroying the world.
so
But I think that how there's so much they would, like they would take over. Like we'd have no way to control like a creature like that.
it would be one of those things where like I think they would bring.
Maybe it would be better for the world because then they would eat all of us and then the world would survive.
I think no, that's crazy. But I think that like So a long time ago, about 26 years ago, I'm pretty sure, they did this thing where they found...
Specifically 26 years.
Well, I don't know. Because I remember I was really young.
Why 26?
I remember I was like 7 at the time,
Okay.
or 6 or something like that. I remember I was
Approximately
really young.
26 years ago. Okay. Not 25, 26.
All right. Okay, fine. Anyways, I remember it was like the 1998. I'm pretty sure it happened. They did this like thing. Was that 26 years ago?
21.
Sorry. Whatever. Anyways, it was around the vicinity of a time. Like. Anyways,
Okay.
this is where we shut the podcast
Yeah,
down. Bye, podcast.
It didn't work out, guys.
press
Changing
the,
it back
press
to
the
the
nuke,
Rachel and
press the
Sarah
nuke button.
podcast.
We're the aliens, so they can destroy the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways, they did this thing where they slowly were trying to take. They found like woolly mammoth stuff like frozen, and they want to take the DNA, and then they do this thing where they like slowly, over the course of like so many years, will. Like they basically put the DNA inside of like an elephant, and then one elephant breeds into like something closer to the woolly mammoth, and then slowly over time. But then I was reading that because of this whole like CRISPR thing that like remember when we watched that?
Yeah, I wasn't fully
Anyways,
understanding what they're
So
talking
because
about.
of this like this specific genome, I think they call it, now that whole DNA process takes up to 2 to 3 years.
It's crazy.
So, and sometimes even sooner, because you skip all of the actual like over generations period. Like, you know how like it's okay if we had a kid, you know, they might have like whatever, like be tall and like, you know, dark hair or something like that, and then they're really tall, and then they marry, you know, that sort of thing. Like, and it continues on. Genetic. Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to explain it. You know what I mean? Anyways, and so now they can skip that. So people are like, oh. Crazy! This is crazy. So now all we got to do is find like DNA of like a certain animal. We can bring it back in like 2 or 3 years. And people were talking about like, what about dinosaurs? Like, why don't we just do that?
I don't think it's a good idea.
No, I'm not saying they're going to, but I know that's a bad idea. I think like for the purpose of, don't put them in like a park so everybody can like, ooh, dinos. But
So
like
what would
if
be
they
the
brought
point of bringing it back to life?
for science, most likely, just to be like,
But
oh.
then it's just living in a cage for our amusement.
No, you would put it in like a gigantic park somewhere. You.
I don't think we should put it in a park. Just put it in a park somewhere.
You know what I'm talking about though? Like put it in a park. Put it in a park that's like they can do things, and like try to see if they can. Anyways, it's for science. I think it'd be cool.
For science. Sounds great.
Yeah, so what you're saying is Jurassic Park. No.
Yeah, so
10
literally
minutes.
Jurassic
10 minutes
Park.
later, a conversation. Put it in like a park somewhere. Anyways, okay, you're next.
Well, I mean, I haven't had a chance to talk about dinosaurs.
Oh, well, you just said you don't care. You're
I
like,
mean, I just said I wouldn't bring them
oh,
back.
go on. You can go.
I don't have much to say. I think my least favorite dinosaur is that one that like it used to scare me when I
Oh,
watched the first
the
one.
one with the guy from Seinfeld, yeah.
The one where it fans its neck out and then it like sprays you with poison. Was that a real one?
It doesn't spray you with poison. I think it sprays you with like
Well, he dies, doesn't
an
he?
inky. No, he doesn't die from the poison. It blinds him.
Oh,
It's
that
like
one terrifies me. I don't know what kind that is, but I don't bring that one back. That's for sure.
I don't think they would, like. I think it would take. I don't think it would happen because I think that they would. First, you'd have to find true dino DNA, which I don't even know if they could even find.
So there are still descendants of dinosaurs around, obviously.
Yeah, like crocodiles and stuff.
Crocodiles, sharks,
Well, crocodiles. What's the closest is
chickens are descended from raptors.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we don't know that. Anyway, so Komodo dragons.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Lizards.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I mean, I think bringing back like one of the bigger ones.
Raptors had feathers.
Yeah.
They were covered in feathers. They recently discovered that.
Mm.
It's like what you see in like Jurassic Park. That was just like what they were guessing they would look like based off their skulls. But then recently they found like fossils that showed like the feather marks, like that they were covered in feathers,
That's
like
cool.
birds. So
maybe they would have that as well too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, anyways, we'll go on.
that's all. I just wanted to say I don't like that one sprayy one, and my favorite one's probably.
The question wasn't what's your favorite and least favorite dinosaur.
Well, that's what I've made it into.
The question was why wouldn't you bring dinosaurs back? Not no.
No, and my favorites.
So if you're in front of like Canada right now and they had a microphone in front of you,
I'd be like, my favorite dinosaur.
yeah, no, they'd be like, get off the stage.
Hi, my name's Rachel, and my favorite dinosaur is the Triceratops.
If you're going if somebody said, I'm gonna give you $100,000 right now to give me a good reason why you said no to dinosaurs,
I'd be like, I'm not a scientist. You shouldn't ask me.
So your reason is because I'm not a scientist?
Yeah, but I also just think it's dangerous because I've seen Jurassic Park. I feel like that's what would happen.
But so what if animals start to go extinct? Then you think that the same science shouldn't be...
Well, are these animals 300,000 pounds and meat eaters?
No. But I mean, they could bring back like one of like the cool looking dinosaurs, like maybe like a small herbivore.
Put it in a park.
I don't know. Anyways, okay, you're up next.
Okay.
Your topic.
I was going to talk about it at the beginning, but I was going to just talk about kind of why I got obsessed with podcasts.
Okay.
And that's because Nick and Rob, for our friends from Dungeons and Dragons, recommended the podcast that I listen to all the time. And people think it's weird. It's this podcast called My Favorite Murder. It's hosted by Georgia Hardstark and Karen Kilgariff, and it's all about true crime.
Mm-hmm.
They just talk about true crime all the time. And I never knew that was a thing that I was obsessed with. I always think I knew I was obsessed with it, but
true crime?
I thought it was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember being I don't know, a kid, really young. I don't know exactly when this happened. And the whole JonBenet Ramsey thing happened, and being seeing it on TV or hearing my parents talk about it, and being I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Mine was I don't care about podcasts. I mean, not that I don't care about them. I'm saying I don't listen to them at all. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was at the gym one day and I was like, "Oh, I listened to a short thing about the podcast." But if you're at the gym and you're working out and you're listening to podcasts, it's kind of I'd rather listen to music. Mm-hmm. But the one show that used to give me nightmares was the America's Most Wanted, which I don't even think is on TV anymore.
I don't think so.
But anyways, that show was creepy as hell because they would do this dramatic reenactment about what happened, mm-hmm. and then they would go, "Oh, by the way, this person's still out there." I'm like, "Okay," mm-hmm. and some of them were "Oh, we think he's in Canada now." I'm like, "What does that even mean?"
I don't like stuff like that. I don't like if it's. I like when it's solved.
Yeah.
Or when it is an unsolved thing, but it happened so long ago that you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like when it's "Oh, you've seen a murder on the news," and they're out there. That scares me. Yeah. I'm just more so I'm fascinated by why people do the crazy things they do.
Fascinated, but what? Why would you be fascinated about that?
I think it's fascinating. I think it's so,
that people are crazy.
Yeah, I think it's so weird.
That's not fascinating.
Yeah,
no, you wouldn't
fascinating.
say. No, you would be that's not fascinating. You'd be I'm terrified.
No, I'm scared by it, but it's fascinating, the way that the mind works.
That people are crazy?
Yeah, it's why does one person end up this way and the other person doesn't?
I mean...
Well,
that's why one shows Mindhunter, when they talk about
that's why I like it. So, but anyways, not everybody thinks that that's interesting. Mm-hmm. I feel you're not on the same level as me.
No, I don't think it's... I'm not going to be that's amazing, I can't believe... I would be
but me saying fascinating doesn't mean that I'm yay! It's I'm just
are you saying that you're fascinated with how their mind works and why they're like that?
Yeah.
Do they talk about that in the podcast?
Sure.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's a comedy. They joke and whatever.
Well, if you guys have, like I said, we were talking about the beginning of the podcast. I'm Mindhunter, and then now I'm Mindhunter. Mm-hmm. But definitely Mindhunter kind of brings you down that path of where they're trying to, what do they call it? Profiling? Mm-hmm. Where they profile the
criminal profiling.
Yeah, that's what it's called. So where they find out what made them think about stuff like this. So the cool thing is from doing that, if they start to see patterns, then it's easier for them to track down who the killer really is, because they're oh, this person, hated his grandma, so now he wants to kill only older mm-hmm. people. You know what I mean? Those sort of things, and then they kind of go, okay, which kid in what area can we talk about that really, really said negative things about his grandma, mm-hmm. and then they track him down like that.
So that's what I don't like when it's I don't like listening to hearing about a crime where it's oh yeah, the guy and his wife got in a fight, so he just shot her. It's well, that's just horrible. And what is the purpose behind it?
Well, crime, no matter what, is horrible.
Of course it is, but I mean when it's something this crazy the detectives tracked them down and all these clues, like all
Yeah.
those kinds
Oh,
of
okay,
things.
yeah.
Like
The pieces of the puzzle.
the pieces of the puzzle and like how they all fit together, and like, oh, it turned out that like they had a terrible childhood and this and that, and there was all these reasons why these things happened. Like,
Yeah.
I like the storytelling of it.
Well, I think
Like,
that's why what it annoys me the most when people are like, I can't believe the cops haven't solved it yet, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's been like 24 hours. Like,
Yeah.
it takes time for people to understand these things.
yeah.
And
Or like with the whole JonBenet thing, like they're like, oh my god, it's never been solved, and it's like, yeah, because the cops like severely messed it up, like contaminated the crime scene, like moved stuff around, like
yeah.
didn't do it properly, like it could have been solved.
Yeah,
but,
like remember
everything's
watching that
messed up.
documentary about when they like went in there and
They were like,
the dad,
they didn't take their shoes off.
Yeah.
The dad like moved her body.
the dad was like, oh, she's in this room or something like
I don't know
that.
where she is. Let me go look for her. Went directly to the cellar where she was.
Yeah. Oh my god, there she is.
Like listening to like the 911 phone call where you can hear them like talking in the background after they
Yeah.
thought it hung, like things like that. I just like want it to be solved.
Yeah.
And I wish that like I knew how to solve them. Anyway, I was listening to it at work, and their intro is like this sing song, like they sing "My Favorite Murder," but I thought that my earbuds were plugged in. They were not. So
Yeah.
I just pressed play and like full volume it played that, and I work in like a cubicle with like 30 other people. And
I think you
so
told me
many
this, right?
people like turned to look at me, and I was so embarrassed because I pressed pause because now I'm like the crazy girl at work who likes murder.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I got into podcasts.
Okay.
Listening to true crime. Well, at first I listened to Serial, which was like a serious one, and then I listened to that. I listened to a few other ones.
Yeah.
I listened to this one called "This Podcast Will Kill You," and it's all about like, they like talk about, it's like two like graduate students who talk about like different diseases and like how like what happened and like old ones and new ones and stuff.
I don't want to listen to that stuff.
No, you cannot listen to it.
No, I'd be like...
It's not like things like heart attack. It's like the plague and like this and that, like old things.
Well, watch shows where like I'll watch shows where it's like, oh, blah 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 blah, like this person's neck hurt. Now all of a sudden like they have to get their like neck amputated, and I'm like, my neck hurts.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure you guys probably do it too.
Anyway,
Anxiety.
that's kind of why.
I was gonna say something, but you were talking for a while, and I forgot what I was gonna say. Was that a question for me? This whole podcast topic, or was it just like?
It was one of my things. I just wanted to talk about.
So
reasons why. The kinds of things I like to listen to.
But
I also like listening to, like funny, like just comedy, whatever, talking podcasts.
I don't have time to listen to podcasts in depth. Like it's not like I go to work and I like put my headphones on and listen to stuff. Like I'll be at work and I'll
I do it while I'm driving too.
Yeah.
Instead of just listening to music.
If I was driving for like a long period of time, I drive like 1 minute to work.
That's
so.
the thing. I drive 25 minutes each
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like if I was driving a long way, I would listen to like a documentary or something like that. But podcast enough.
While you're eating lunch.
When I eat lunch, I watch Futurama. When I eat lunch,
which you've already seen probably.
Yeah, when I eat lunch, I like press play. I eat real quick and I watch like 4 minutes of the thing because I eat so fast, and then I'm like drink my coffee and I'm streaming.
Oh my god.
But
no, see, I spend a lot of the day by myself. I wake up in the morning, and I get ready for work. I listen to podcasts on the way to work. I listen to podcasts at work on the way home, and then when I get home, I'm like by myself for like 2 hours, hour and a half. So I listen to podcasts while I'm cooking. And then
we're together for 4 hours.
And then nighttime.
Yeah. Make it seem like I'm just not there. But
I wasn't blaming you. I just said I'm by myself for a lot of the day.
That's true. All right, next topic. Okay, this one's a good one. I think you're going to like this one. My collection of stuff.
Oh my god.
Do you
want me to start?
I don't know. I have a collection that so everybody has this collection of things that they have, which are like, things from childhoods that I'm sure, whether it's like, pins or whatever. So I have, but like
I'm going to take a picture.
Anyway, so
it'll be like a little bonus for you all. I'm going to take pictures at some point of all this stuff.
And they're all going to be like, whoa, that's worth a lot of money.
Go back to the beginning at the old house when I first moved in about where this stuff was kept.
So it was pretty much everywhere.
And the spare room.
In the spare room.
What it was like.
Well, I had a spare room that became Rachel's makeup room. And it had a lot of cool stuff in there. It's still like all my stuff's all over still. Anyways, people are astounded like with all the stuff that I have. People come from miles.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, like a lot of it is Jurassic Park stuff. What else do we have? I'm like worried that this microphone's gonna fall down on us. Anyways, Jurassic Park stuff. There's like stuff from different movies. Pretty much anything that I think is like a cool antique / toy.
I'd like to butt in. He thinks that anything that's older than like 10 years ago is considered an antique. The definition of antique is it must be at least 100 years old, and it has to be worth anything. It has to be in mint condition and or still working, not broken, not chipped.
So, but the thing is that nobody buys antiques.
Continue.
I
Continue.
am. Anyways, nobody buys antiques. Nobody's gonna be like, I don't want to collect old chairs because I don't have room for that. Nobody buys antiques, but if like I have like here's an example. I like collecting like Nintendo 64 games, but I don't really play Nintendo 64 that option.
He'll just buy them without knowing if he already has copies. And then he has like 6 different copies of it. Never uses any of them.
But the thing is like I have like at least 9 copies of Super Mario 3 for NES. And those are worth like $30 a piece.
Brand new in the box.
No, they're not. No. No, brand new in the box. They're brand new in the box. Super Nintendo or Super Mario 3 is probably $250. Brand new in the box.
And how much are
probably more than that?
How much are the ones that are used out of the box worth?
If they're just in the cartridge, like I said, $30.
And how much did you spend on
Maybe
them?
$5 a piece.
Are you ever gonna sell them?
Maybe. Anyways, the moral of the story is I have a lot of stuff, and my question is,
he's got like old broken Fisher Price toys, like action figures from when he was a kid that are like missing arms. Like
the ones that are missing arms,
or like clearly have been like the paint's all chipped off.
The ones that are missing arms are my Transformers.
Transformers.
But the Transformers are missing because they transform.
Like an old Monopoly box, but the box is just like disintegrating. And like
that Monopoly box though, that was one of the first Monopoly box. But
it's not worth anything because it's clearly like water damage.
I don't think I paid anything for that. I think I got it for free.
But why are we keeping it? Anyway, when I first moved in, like 5.5 years ago, he had this spare room and it was just piled with this stuff. Like he had like one bookcase in there or something, but nothing was organized. It was all just like in like cardboard boxes and like totes like all over the floor, like everywhere. And it took like 2 years for me to be like, okay, like
it's time.
We can't. Like this is why we're not using this room. The door would just stay closed because it was like a mess. So we moved everything. And then I like made that room like my room.
Yeah.
But like when we moved, we packed up a whole bunch of it because when we were showing the house, like we had moved all that stuff downstairs and kind of like organized it, but it was still like overflowing and messy looking because there's just so much stuff. So we had packed a whole bunch of it up and just left like the bare minimum so it looked good. So it showed well and moved a lot of it to storage.
Yeah.
And then
well, not storage, but like another area.
Yeah, storage. It's not in the house.
No.
And now it's all set up nice down here, but there's still boxes and boxes of this stuff like in storage. And Travis wants to like bring it to the house. And I'm like, why? Where are we gonna put it? What are we gonna do with it?
That's the other problem is like now there is a lot of room for stuff because we have a room dedicated that I can put my stuff in now that is just there. It's supposed to be
I just don't want it to be like I'm not like I understand you like them and I'm not trying to be like you can't do anything with it. I just don't want it to be like how the basement was before where it was so messy looking. Yeah. Like even our friends when they come over they're like, oh my god, it looks so much better without all the clutter. Like I just don't want it to look cluttered.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I
don't want you to just throw it out because I know you like it. But I just don't want it out.
Well, we have rooms in like the closet and stuff. But anyways, the moral of the story is
you have so much stuff.
I love this stuff.
I would love for you to like actually go through it and like
sell what I want
and sell what you're not ever gonna look at or touch and keep what you like.
The thing is, I don't know if anybody would buy some of the stuff that I don't like.
I know, but then no one's gonna ever buy it. So then, what is the point of keeping it?
Like there's some old train sets that I have and stuff. But
like I'm not saying it. I'm just like I feel like there's a lot you could get rid of.
Oh, probably. But I mean, most of the time is my thought process behind it is, oh, cool, I bought this for $5. If I ever did sell it, I could probably sell it for $30.
But you'll probably never sell it.
No. But the thing is, like older games, like I probably want to get rid of. But PlayStation 2, I never play that, so I could probably get rid of all those games. But so, what's your idea behind all my collection? Is there any items in there that you like?
That I like?
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
The VHS tapes?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
The VHS tapes are fine because they're not like you can put them on a shelf in the entertainment room and it's fine.
I think it's like the idea.
I like a few of your little like Like, I like your little green giant thing. You're like your
Mm-hmm.
little green giant toy. And I like the old cameras.
Yeah.
Like, basically what's on the shelf right now are the things I like. Because I'm the one who packed everything up. So,
If
like,
you guys-
I only left the things that I am fine with.
If you guys do collect stuff, do it. It's good. It's worth it. It brings you back to
I
it.
have no problem with collecting things.
Brings you back to the days.
When I was little, I used to collect, they're called rust bears. I think they're like a Canadian thing. But they were like these teddy bears that were usually wearing some like clothing or
Did
something.
they say? I think I have one that says Travis on it.
No, that's not a rust bear. That's just like a mall like Christmas thing.
Oh.
Anyway, these were like expensive. My grandparents would buy them for me. They're like $50 a bear or something. It's
Are
kind of
those
like
sort of-
it's like a Beanie Baby type situation where you would keep the tag on it. And it's supposed to be worth something.
Yeah. I don't think Beanie Babies are worth anything anymore.
No, I don't. Remember how they were supposed to be worth something though?
Yeah.
I never collected Beanie Babies. Anyways, I had these bears because I really liked teddy bears when I was little.
Yeah.
And I put them. I had like shelves lining my room when I was little, and I had like 50 of these bears. Like I would get it for everything, like for Christmas, for my birthday, for I never touched them. I never played with them. They were like pristine. And then when I was a teenager, I was like, I'm too old for bears anymore. My dad was like, well, don't get rid of them because like you probably want to give them to your kids or like sell them, whatever, right? So we put them in these like bags, like these garbage bags to keep them from getting dusty, and I put them in the basement. And then my stepdad threw them out.
Jeez.
I know. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but I went back like after college and I was like, oh, where are all my bears? And he was like, oh, they're gone.
He's probably like, we were probably like rolling like dough.
Probably. Because like even if you didn't, like those things, it's like even if you sold them at a yard sale, like somebody would have.
I remember my mom.
Like they shouldn't have gone to the garbage. They were nice.
I remember my mom sold like all these old, like my entire Pog collection at a yard sale for 50 cents.
Oh, that sucks. I used to have Pogs. Too.
Yeah, they're
For
called
50 cents.
They're called.
Oh,
I know they're called
rough.
Pog tubes, and I remember I had like 6 of them, and I had this really long one. It was like a special Pog tube that they only sold, I think, like once, and I had it. And it was full with all my slammers, and she sold them all for 50 cents. And I was like, okay.
Okay, I'll go cry.
all my dinky toys. There was
all your what toys?
the little dinky cars.
What are your dinky toys?
They're called dinky cars, aren't they?
Toy cars?
The little tiny cars.
They're called dinky cars.
They're called dinky cars.
I've never heard of that before.
I'm pretty sure they are. Look it up. Then there was Stretch Armstrong. I had 2 of those.
Yeah.
She sold both of those. It's a lot of big collection of stuff. I don't know. I remember I used to have in like when I.
Did you ever have like a? Oh no, never mind. I already know the answer
When
to
I-
this. I was gonna say, did you ever have like a, like that was your toy that you slept with every night? But it's Gadget.
Gadget,
And
yeah.
Gadget haunts my dreams.
Gadget is a toy that got made by a friend of my mom's when I was like 2. And it's like this creepy looking rabbit person.
It doesn't have. Does it
I
have
like
eyes
it.
anymore?
I like it. But Rachel will throw it on the ground. I'll be like, don't do that. Like, he can't breathe.
That sounds like I'm being like a monster. Like I do it as a joke. I'm
Yeah.
like, get out of here. I'm not just like angrily like throwing him to the ground.
I used to have this room in my like original house that I grew up in, which was like a farm. And there was like a giant walk-in closet. And instead of clothes, I had a ton of toys in there. But I always had them like organized and like my own stuff. And my nephew, I remember this specifically because I remember going in there and I just didn't know what to do. I remember I walked in and my nephew went in and just pulled on all the toys and literally was like, imagine like somebody sitting in like a bath of toys.
Sounds great.
And I walked in and I'm like, and like my mom was like, well, you better get to clean it up then. I shouldn't even like yell at him.
Well, how old was he?
I don't remember. This was like, I just remember like,
He's probably just
I just
little.
remember like, it's like etched into my brain of like, this kid just like, like sticky fingers all in my toys. And I'm like, my toys. Anyways, so more of the stories, you like my collection.
No. Moral of the story is I don't like your collection, and Gadget is terrifying. He's like wearing overalls,
Yeah.
but it's all knitted. Like
One
I'm
day-
sure
one day
someone
we'll
put
show
a
you.
lot of like love and thought into it, but like it's so old now and so creepy. And he'll like you
Dress
haven't
him
done
up?
it in a while, but he will put him like in weird places because he knows that he freaks me out. So like I'll come home from work and I'll go into the bedroom to like change, and he'll be like under the covers like holding my book or something.
Yeah.
Like or he'll be. And for a while, I was hiding him on you too. Like one time, I put him at when you came out of your room in the old house and you went to go up the stairs, just sitting on the steps.
Oh yeah.
And like I was in bed and I just heard him like shriek.
I remember at one
He
point.
came around the corner and he was like,
I remember at one point Saber was like biting it, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
What's your last topic?
Oh, it was Halloween this week.
Oh yeah, this week's Halloween.
This week's Halloween. And
What's your question about it?
my question was,
Well, I guess they're just topics, right?
yeah, I don't really have a
whatever.
question.
Okay.
I'm just going to talk about Halloween and how yesterday when I went to get my hair done, my hair salon's on this street that's like has a lot of like little businesses and stuff. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like the artsy area of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And every year, I guess they do like the weekend before Halloween, they do like a trick or treating thing for like the businesses.
Yeah.
So I was trying to park, and it's like street parking, and there was like 500 kids everywhere. Like, it was nice to see because everyone was out and like trick or treating, and all the businesses were handing out candy, and it was like really cute.
Yeah.
But it was so cold outside, and I remember being a kid and being like mad because I would have my costume. My mom would make me wear my winter jacket underneath, or she'd make me wear it over top or something, and I'd be like, "You're ruining the costume." But it is so cold outside. I like understand now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I saw some kids, like little kids, like a little girl in like a princess dress, and she didn't have a jacket on. I'm like, she has to be like freezing cold.
I feel like Halloween's not the same that it used to be though.
No, because we used to not go out trick or treat. I mean, when we were little, it probably was different because our parents went with us. But when I was older, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12, we would just go by ourselves, like with friends or like with my sisters.
I mean, like bigger.
Well, we used to not go out until it was dark.
No, I mean like more people doing it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Our neighborhood we used to live in was there wasn't a lot of kids. And it was like a dead end street, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like
I think I'm also comparing it because like I've always lived in a small town.
Yeah.
Like you
in
Windsor,
like it's
crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
there was
I guess
kids
that's different.
everywhere.
I guess that's different because like
It depends on your neighborhood.
Yeah. Like I live in.
You always lived in the county.
I live in like a town with like 5,000 people, and on my street, I remember it wasn't like super hectic.
Yeah.
But like as a kid, I never did Halloween.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, like, as a teenager, did you ever, like, dress up for school?
I remember, like, once. No, I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
So, we'll get into that on another topic. On another
we'll
podcast.
Have, like, a special
We'll have a special podcast if you guys want to add that into the
sensitive topic.
And no, well, not really.
Yeah.
If you guys want to add that into, like, one of your... if you're one of the patrons that get the chance to ask the topic, you guys can ask why. But anyways, I was never allowed to... do Halloween, birthday parties, etc.
Yeah.
Anyway, so... I remember once I went over to my friend's house and he was like, "Oh, I have an extra cop jacket. Do you want to wear it?" And I was like, "Sure." And like I ran home after, and like my mom was like, "Where were you all night?" I was like, "I don't know." She was like, "Why are you out on Halloween?" I was like, "I don't know." And I had candy.
Nowhere.
Yeah. And I had candy. But like I remember like the streets were like packed though.
I used to always go with something like cutesy. Like I never would do like the scary costumes. My older sister would always do like she was like a hobo one year.
Yeah.
And like, you know, she would do like something gross or scary, like, because she thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a princess.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm, what do they call it? Like in the 50s with the poodle skirts. Like, I'm that. Like, I was like a cat one year. Like, that was like the extent of
Do your thing, yeah.
my costumes.
Yeah.
In university, same thing. If I went out to a party or something, it was like, I'm a raccoon. Like something cute. Like I was never.
Yeah. But I don't think it's as big as like I think I say that now because like I'm older and like now it's like, oh yeah, Halloween's not big, but like we didn't go to we're not going to any Halloween parties.
Yeah, no, we're also at that like weird stage of life where like we're too old to like go to like parties like that. But also we don't have kids yet, so it's like
I've always wanted to go to like I was telling people this before. I've always wanted to go to a murder mystery party.
I want to host a murder mystery.
It's too much to host.
It's a lot of work.
And also most of the time, like with our friend group, if you ask them questions, I feel like
4 years to do.
They either don't reply or they reply right away with like, yeah, that sounds great, and then like you ask them again a week later and they're like, la da 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 da.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
everyone's so busy.
I know. That's not the downfall.
I don't know. I'd like to do one year, but I think you have to like, if you're gonna do it yourself, it would take like a lot of like planning because you have to plan out all the characters and the storyline and blah blah blah. Or you would have to buy one of those like pre-made. They have like pre-made murder mystery party things.
I was driving down the street the other day and I saw these like lawn signs that said hosting murder mystery party, and then I drove past. So.
Well, maybe next year.
So I think like places do it, but that'd be pretty cool. But like Halloween, I think it's just like for me, I feel like it's not as what it used to be. Like I remember. Same with Christmas too. Well, it's not really the topic, but I think Christmas is like, I used to drive around and there'd be like Christmas lights everywhere.
I think it's because electricity is so dang expensive now. Everyone's like, I'm
I
not
know.
going to pay to have my
That's
lights
honestly,
on.
I was starting to think, I'm like, why is it like that? But then, I remember there's this one house that's like famous in.
Yeah, Mama, it's like near my dad's street.
No.
Oh, maybe
I'm
there's
talking
more
about like
than
all the way
one.
over there. Anyways, it's in an opposite direction, but it's like famous for having a donation box out front.
I'm thinking of something
that
different.
you basically would go and you put in money, because like every year they would go crazy with new decorations, and that money would just pay for their electricity bill, but nobody did it for a very long time, so they had to stop doing it.
Yeah, we had someone who lived down the street from my dad who they're like every bush, every inch of their house, like everything was covered in lights.
Yeah.
It was really nice, but like that has to be so expensive.
Yeah.
To
I guess that's
run.
probably why, but like I think a lot of it is setting up the decorations and stuff like that too. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I know for me, I don't want to do that outside.
No. In the freezing cold.
No.
It
Inside,
would be up still in July if we did it.
I think it's
we're
one of those
so
things like
lazy.
when we have kids, like having decorations out, like
I think decorations inside is nice, especially if you have kids.
well,
but
if my kid's like Trav,
Trav.
yo Trav,
Yo, Trav.
he's like 1 year old, Trav,
Trav.
Travy boy.
Trevi.
Anyways, when
If they want to put decorations out, you would.
yeah, I guess that's the point of my.
Well, yeah, my parents did it when we were little too, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really care. I mean, if we have like a window that's big enough, if we put our tree up, we put our lights on, it looks festive.
Yeah, it
from
does,
the
yeah.
outside. So
And then like also it's easier to get that like lawn, like
yeah, we're gonna get one of those things where you stick it in the lawn and it just
they're
like,
easy to. It's kind of like the
it kind of
thing.
just like projects lights on your house, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Pretty much.
And that is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
That's,
cool. Yeah. Well, there's our 3 topics though.
that's Halloween. We're gonna hand out candy though.
Yeah. I think Candy No Candy is like.
I like doing it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
'cause-
fun. I
and
like
also-
seeing all the little kids. They're so cute with all their costumes.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll usually dress Saber. I'll take a picture
Yeah, we'll post it.
of our costumes.
We'll post it in the Patreon and we'll post it in Discord too.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Just
just
for
in,
this-
maybe
I
just in
don't know.
Patreon.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we'll just post in. Well, maybe we'll start posting
You'll
pictures
see.
just in Patreon.
You'll see Thursday.
But
And Saber will be dressed up. And
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. That's it.
look, we got all of our onesies. I have a shark onesie. She has a panda one, and then Saber has a shark.
It's like a fox.
Or
thing
Saber does
something.
have a shark onesie.
She does, but she's not wearing that this year.
Oh, the spider one.
Yeah, she's a spider.
Yeah. So should be kind of a cute picture to see.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, that's our first podcast. Woo! Yeah, pretty
I have
cool.
no idea how long that was.
I have no idea. I feel like it's like an hour. Hopefully, it's been recording.
No idea if that was interesting.
We haven't left the thing to show up if it's recording or not.
No,
so
if we had left the screen up, I wouldn't have looked at you at all. I would have been staring at myself.
at yourself on the camera.
Because I do that during D&D the entire time.
I know. Me too.
I'm just very shallow. I like to look at myself.
Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Our future podcast will, because the first one we don't
This
know.
one we're going to, I think, I don't know.
We can maybe even split a half in. Like half is like there, and if you want to see the full thing, it's on
Yeah,
Patreon.
we
Might
don't
be
want
kinda
it to
cool.
just be like, you have to go to Patreon the first time. Like, we want people to know, like, what it's about.
Yeah.
Before we, like, force you guys to have to, like, go somewhere else for it.
Mhm.
But, I mean, I don't know. We'll
I hope
talk
you guys
about
liked it though. I think it's cool.
If you're listening to this for
Yeah.
free, then you know.
Yeah, I definitely like doing podcasts. I think they're fun, and I think it's cool because a lot of people ask me stuff on stream, and I don't have like a lot of time to talk about it because it's like I'm trying to like game and stuff at the same time too.
Mhm.
And they're always asking about you, and I'm like, well, they're like, get Rachel on the stream. I'm like, she doesn't want to stream. She wants to like, so podcasts is I think the
No,
best thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching on video. You can see us on camera. We're gonna eventually try to get us some, new camera down the road. But for those of you listening on the microphone, I don't know exactly how or if we're ever gonna get to Spotify exactly. I think we'll just focus on Patreon right now.
Yeah.
And then go from
Basically, like, I mean, I'm not in this for, like, we gotta do it for the money.
there. No, of
It
course
more
not.
so is like we've had a few people, not we, I have nothing to do with it. Travis has had a few people being like, you should start a Patreon and like
Yeah.
it's just a good way to support like your creative like activities, blah blah blah. But we don't just want to like throw it up and be like, yeah, donate money.
No.
Like we want there to be some benefit to it.
Mhm.
So like, hopefully this is like a nice little added bonus for
Yeah.
anyone who so feels like they want to
Yeah.
support in that.
I
way.
pretty much wanted to add more content because I know we do Twitch, we do our D&D streams every Friday, and then / YouTubes for that, and then we also I don't have time. I try to do my Let's Play YouTube videos, but I don't have much time for that.
No.
And then like the podcasts are going to be hopefully a weekly thing if we have enough people that want to watch them and stuff like that. So
and I don't really have time to like do a lot of stuff outside of work.
No.
Like I have long days and like I do a lot of other stuff, so this is kind of like a way for me to do something without it taking up too much time.
And this is the perfect amount of time I think to kind of like have people ask questions if they need to. But I think the 3 topics same thing is pretty cool. Let's see how long it goes to go from there. Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have like a concrete plan for this.
Yeah, we'll just kind of just do it as we go.
Yeah.
That's why I like having like scripted stuff.
I think at the end of every episode we should have Saber
say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Wave goodbye.
Yeah.
Saber, wake up. She's sleeping. Oh. All right, well, guys, if you're listening, if you guys are listening, thank you for listening to us. I hope you guys had a fun time listening. I sure as hell had a fun time talking about random stuff. It's also cool that we're not like telling each other the topics before we start.
No. Because I don't want you to have like a planned response.
No, neither do I. Like, I mean, maybe in the future we can come up with... Oh, the one thing is, if you guys have any recommendations for the different tier stuff, let me know. But I think they're pretty much set in stone for now, but we can always edit them. And if you guys want us to do where every week we try a different flavor of tea or something, that might be able to be something we can do. If you guys want to... That might be something pretty cool. If you guys want to send us tea or something like that might be kind of like a start of something.
We have a P.O. box.
Yeah, we have a P.O. box, which is on the stream. I'll also include it on, I think we include it on Patreon.
We'll do unboxing of tea.
Yeah, and try them out. So, anyways, guys, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.